Okay, so you did get to see a few of our board members, and I'm just going to point out how you can identify us. We have a flower on our shirt. We also have our names. After the presentation, we'd love to meet you. If we don't know you, please come, say hi and get to know us. My name's Melissa Coffey, and so hopefully you'll fully get to meet all of us, and we look forward to visiting with you. Sarah Post, our co-founder and president, is now going to finish the presentation.
Hi, that's me up there. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is an amazing turnout. We actually put this together about 2 months ago. We said we need to get something together. We need to get some money. We need to get the word out. And we literally threw this together, and to have this many people show up in such a short amount of time really says how much this means to our community and how much we need it. All of you are here because this speaks to you in some way, so thank you so much for coming. Melissa told me that I needed to give a presentation, and I said, okay, I can wing it. And she said, no, you're not. She said, we're going to put together a presentation, so thank you, Melissa, for putting me in order here. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you a little bit about what we're going to do. We know that there's a need here, but I'm going to tell you what our plan is, what our big goals are. Can I get a little help? This is my husband. Okay. So we have a mission. We have 3 main goals. One is to fight stigma. People aren't getting treated. 1,400 women approximately in Sedgwick County every year suffer. And we know less than a third of them are actually getting treated. And that's a problem. And one of the reasons they're not getting treated is because they're not saying anything. And they're not saying anything because they're afraid and they're ashamed. And we're going to change that because there's nothing to be ashamed of, right? We're going to educate and train our healthcare providers. So that if somebody does reach out for help, we want to make sure that the person they're asking for help can help them. So we're going to make sure that all of our healthcare providers, our OBs, as many as we can, our pediatricians, our PCPs, anyone who's coming in contact with women and families, we're going to make sure that they know what they're doing and they know how to assess and they feel confident that they can assess for these issues. So we're going to be available for that. And finally, we're going to provide direct services, counseling services, support groups, that community that people need. We use the word perinatal now. Many of us know the term postpartum depression, which is great. Postpartum depression affects 1 in 10 women. But we're looking at treating the perinatal period, which is the period from immediately before pregnancy all the way to immediately after. Because there are many issues during this period that affect our mental health, right? Infertility, miscarriage, stillbirth, all of these things can affect our mental health, not just postpartum depression. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of those. Okay. So our target population. PMADS is our current term that we use. We use the word postpartum depression, but when we're looking at perinatal mental health, we're looking at perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. Again, that's reaching from infertility all the way to the postpartum period. This can mean depression, anxiety. If you check out our Facebook page, we have some messages about anxiety. Anxiety is a little known topic when it comes to perinatal mental health. But anxiety definitely affects women and fathers. Obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar disorder, and psychosis in severe circumstances. These are all things that can affect somebody in the perinatal period. And it's important that we have providers who are assessing for this and who are knowledgeable about this, and that we have people in the community who are treating it. We're also looking at treating birth trauma, perinatal loss, which I mentioned, infertility. We're also here to treat and serve people who are either birth mothers or adoptive parents, because they can suffer as well. And in fact, we know that people who suffer from infertility and who adopt actually are at a higher risk. And the reason is because they have this belief that because they've tried so hard to get their baby, that they should be grateful and happy. And so when they suffer from depression, they think there's something wrong with them and they don't want to say anything. But it happens, and it happens a lot, and we want to be there for everybody. There you go. Why our mission is important. There's a reason that we're doing this. It's the number 1 medical complication related to childbearing. It can lead to chronic anxiety and depression if not treated. Relationship problems, divorce, disability, unemployment, child neglect and abuse, developmental delays, behavioral problems, and suicide. The maternal suicide rate nationally is 20%. It's not a statistic we know a lot, we don't hear a lot, but it's huge, and it's a big one, and we want to fix that. Okay. Some more important information: 1 in 7 women will suffer from a perinatal mood or anxiety disorder. Only 40% of those are actually diagnosed, and of those, only 60% actually get treated. Fathers and partners are also at risk of mental health complications. You saw this in the video. 1 in 10 fathers. It affects dads too. We see you guys, right? You're part of our village too. The other issue, we want everybody to know, this is very treatable. This is the message. It's very treatable. Therapy, support, people feel better. There's no reason that people should be doing this alone. There are barriers, there are reasons why. We talked a little bit about stigma. Poor referral network. We have a lot of providers in Wichita actually who are doing this work. We're just not connected. So I'm a therapist. I'm a clinical social worker. I do therapy. And a lot of women who come to me for perinatal treatment found me on Google. I don't think that's good enough. I think we need to have a network. I think we need to know each other. I think that if anybody needs treatment, they should be able to find it. They should be find it easily, quickly, and we're going to fix that. We're going to make that happen. The cost of treatment is also an issue. And you know, the cost of the treatment is actually the problem for women who have high deductibles. When I work with women who have a $40 deductible, that can be a lot, especially if they come to me 4 times a month. We're going to try to see if we can offset that cost somehow. Transportation, childcare, fear of medication and treatment. Again, with that stigma, people are afraid. Health disparities and lack of information and assessments. We're hopeful through our programs we can help remove some of these barriers and get people into treatment. Okay, we have 3 goals. How are we going to do this? Public awareness. It's a big goal. We're going to use social media, any capacity we can to get the word out. Follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting videos. We'll be posting lots of information through our website, through blogs, through public events. We're also going to be hosting a storytelling series. So on our table back here, we have a sign-up sheet. One of the most powerful forms of breaking stigma is to tell your story. So for those of you who watched this video, I know the parts that really hit me were the stories that I heard. Because in those stories, I heard some of my stories. And when we look at what works to get people out of the darkness and into treatment, it's hearing someone else's story. So if you're willing to share your story, please sign up, let us know. We're going to have people write, be on video, share your story. 2, education. We're going to get out there, we're going to train doctors, we're going to be available for in-person trainings, we're going to work on bringing national trainings here to Wichita because they're not easily available. A lot of the trainings in maternal mental health take place in Oregon or Massachusetts, other places, and they're really hard to get to. If we bring them here, people are more likely to get the training. We're also going to be on the ground in doctors' offices, distributing assessments, distributing the information, the resources. We'll bring it to them to make it easier so that when women visit them, they have it. Because that's ultimately where women first show up. They show up in their doctor's office, and that's where they get assessed. And their doctors are the ones that are referring them to us. So we're going to be on the ground doing that work. And finally, our direct service. We're going to be providing counseling services with a social worker, a warm line, telephone line. Sometimes that first call can be the most important thing, to have somebody on their line to just say, "Hi, we got you. You're gonna be okay." That can make all the difference. Support groups, classes, and community navigators. Because we have people in the community who are already doing this work, we want to be an anchor for families to call, and they can call us and say, "Where do I go?" We can tell them. We want to be that place. When will services be available? Well, Taryn, my partner, I'm talking. She's not talking as much as she talk. We've already been doing some of the work, not getting paid, but we're doing it because we have a passion for it. But starting hopefully March 1st, or whenever we get enough money to hire staff, we'll be available. We'll be open for counseling services. Our phone lines will be open. And how do families get connected at that point? We have a phone number, email. Eventually, we'll be incorporating a chat onto our website. Fax referrals. If you're a provider, if you're a doctor, we'll make it easy for you. You just fax us her information. We'll call her. Our website, our Facebook page. Like us. Follow us. Here, go back. There you go. Okay. What was I going to say about that? Oh, the point of this. It should be easy. It should be easy to find help. And we're going to make it as easy as possible, whether they call, they check our website, they chat, they email us. We're going to make it as easy as possible, because one of the problems is that if somebody is depressed and they reach out for help and they hit any barrier, their Google search fails, or somebody doesn't answer the phone, they're going to give up. So we're going to make it easier. Go ahead. I'm ready. Okay, how can you help us? You're all here. We want to know how you can help us. Okay, we have several ways you can help us. First of all, give us your info. I know a lot of you have already signed up. Give us your information. We will keep you updated through email. Like us on Facebook. Follow us. We'll give you all the updates. Spread the word. Talk about it. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Even if you don't talk about us, if you talk about your story, or you just bring up the words postpartum depression to a friend, or if you have a friend who just had a baby and you just ask her, how are you doing? No, really, how are you really doing? Like, really. We all have that friend who did that for us, right? Be that friend. Volunteer. Again, sign up. We'll be sending out information about how you can volunteer. Also sign up for our Storyteller series if you're willing to share your story. And donate. We need money. Right now we're doing this, we're bootstrapping it right now. Which is okay. We're okay doing that, right, Taryn? We'll do it either way. But money will help us go a lot further. So all of you who've donated so far, thank you so much. You're going to put your money to good use. Any money you donate is going to stay right here in Wichita. We're a local organization. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's going to serve people right here. Okay. This is money stuff. If you're interested, if you want to know where your money is going, please take some time to look at this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, mostly because I'm a social worker. I'm not an accountant.
I made her do it.
Melissa made me do it. Okay. Yes, don't forget to tip your bartenders. This is an important thing. Okay, so that's the end of our presentation. Taryn, do you want to say anything? This is my partner.
I just want to say thank you again for everybody for coming out and supporting us. This cause is near and dear to our hearts as moms ourselves. So thank you guys, and enjoy and tip your bartenders.
I'm the business accountant person on board. It's just FYI. So, this is what I wanted to point out about this was our goal is to raise $32,000. So far, we've raised $3,000, and that was just
on Facebook.
That was just on Facebook. So if you were one of those people that donated, thank you very much. But this event is kind of, we were hoping to get more of the word out. Those donations will be put to good use. So if you are interested, please, we are really wanting to get this started as soon as we can. And so the sooner that we get these funds, the sooner that we can do bigger things. So if you have any questions about this, you can come to me.
Thank you for taking that over. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, well, we will be around for a while. If you have any questions to ask us, we're here. Enjoy some more drinks. And we really need to thank Central Standard because they gave us all of their facilities for free. And Central Standard doesn't just do this for us. I know that they've sponsored many amazing organizations in Wichita. So send them your love, enjoy some drinks, eat some food. Thanks, guys.
I broke my flower.
Let's do
Okay. Good job, guys. I just wanted to make sure that people knew. But we'll wait. Oh, people are coming. Yeah. Hi. Hi, how are you? Sorry, I already had Karen. Sorry I didn't come. No worries, no worries. Hopefully there's